Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video, day 15 in our advent calendar, and it's only 10 days till Christmas. It's only 10 days till the end of the advent calendar. So we are strapping in today to talk about, of course, the L Word and season 3. And as I said yesterday, do I know for a fact that the show is coming back for a third season? No. But I am here to do my job that no one asked me to do and I do for free, but I am here to do it. So we are going to be talking about why I think season 3 needs to happen, and also I want to share with you some of the things that I learned over the second season with my channel and ratings and the data. And also I took a look at some other people's channels who talk about the L Word. I hope they don't mind. So I'm going to be answering that question that I've seen a lot on social media and Facebook groups and on Reddit about what really matters when it comes to the live ratings, streaming, and of course, do I have access to Showtime's dashboard that tells me exactly how many people watched season 2? No, but I have access to my own dashboard and about 750 to a million L Word fans that have come to my channel over the course of season 2. And I also want to share basically what people have told me in large amounts over season 2, because I just don't think there's a lot of people who are in this situation where I not only have access to the data, but to people telling me their thoughts and feelings. So I'm going to put that in this video as best I can. And of course, if anyone has questions, thoughts, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, make sure you're subscribed and follow me on social media, because when that season 3 news officially comes, you know who's going to tell you first. So make sure that you're subscribed with your notifications turned on and also following on social media. So let's get into it, because we've got a lot to talk about. And I want to start off by talking about basically why I think there should be a season 3. And I did a video yesterday, in case you haven't seen it, where I talked about what I actually want to see in season 3. But the main reason that I want to see season 3 is basically, of course, I love the show. I love talking about it. Do I also have a vested interest in the show being renewed because I make YouTube videos and, have an audience that predominantly is filled with L Word fans? Yes, I absolutely have no problem saying that, and I benefit greatly from the L Word being renewed. It's great for my channel when the show is on, and you can even go and look, like if you look on Social Blade, my channel goes like this in August and September and October, and then comes down again because when the L Word's on, it's great for me. So yes, I have a vested interest, but when I started this channel, I had like 20 subscribers, and it could have just been me talking into nothingness. Like, I didn't know that it was going to be successful. I didn't know that, a million people were going to come and watch my channel over 3 months. And I think that even if, there was a couple of hundred subscribers, I still would be doing the videos and I still would be watching the show because I absolutely love it. So I think there's countless reasons as to why we need the third season. And really it all goes back to like what Jennifer and Leisha and Kate were saying, that this show when it was on and finished, they thought more shows like it would come on television. And yes, representation is a lot better now. And there are shows that have happened over even the past 2 years that have greatly pushed representation and lesbians on television forward. And I can sit here and list, Maya and Karina and Laura and Bradley and Tampa Bays and Evelyn and Leighton, and that's literally just in the past 6 months. And it is great, but they all are small parts of an ensemble show. And really, apart from Tampa Bays, there's no show where it is predominantly lesbians. And that, there's smaller shows here and there. I don't watch it, but Wynonna Earp, I know, is a big queer show. So I think that it just really is important that we have this representation. And I mean, is it the absolute best representation that covers everyone? No. But did we make great strides in the past even year with representation? Yes. I mean, look at Danny and Gigi and look at Bet and Pippa, like two couples that really are underrepresented on television. And I just think it would be a real shame if we got these couples, these characters at the end of season 2 and it didn't go any further. I mean, especially the character of Gigi this season, I think has been phenomenally successful. And I know, because people have told me, how much Gigi as a character means to Farsi speakers and people that feel represented by her. And I'm also not saying the show needs to exist just for representation. It can exist to just be a fun drama soap opera with lesbians. And as I said yesterday, I think that a great kind of balance would be maybe having Danny and Gigi as a happy together couple and having the drama and stuff in the rest of their life, not in their coupleness. And then we also have some positive representations on TV. So I know I've said representation like a million times, and I'm not saying that is the show's only job, but I also think that it just really sparks a bigger conversation in the community about how we see ourselves reflected on screen. And another thing that's not really talked about too much now, I mean, maybe in a way some people take it a little bit for granted that we're living in a world where, in the US, the UK, a lot of European countries, it is legal to get married. And, it was a very different place when the original L Word was on. And I literally would not be the same without the L Word. It was a huge thing in me being able to accept myself, and also to see that you don't have to be some, stereotype to be accepted for being gay. And I just really think that there's still a lot of people watching the show that it helps them. And there's also a lot of people in a lot of countries where they can't even get access sometimes to the show, and they are watching clips of the show through like channels like this because they can't get it in their country, or they are able to get it but it's a secret and they can't view it openly. And I really think it's an outlet for people living in those situations too. So I really want to recognize the fact that the show is doing great things that way, and it also provides this fun atmosphere as well for lesbians in the community, that it's a little common language. And I, for one, just love this kind of little silly bonding thing that the L word creates within our community. And I'll give you an example of that probably everyone has had at one stage in their life. I know I've had it a million times. And this girl I've gone out with a few times, I went to dinner with her and her friends who I'd never met. And within like 5 minutes, we were talking about the L word and who's our favorite couples and who we hate and who we like. And it's just this little commonality that we all have. And I just really love it. It's so fun to hear other people's perspective, and especially in the real world where online we tend to surround ourselves with, I hate the word echo chamber, but you know, if you like Danny and Gigi, you normally surround yourself online with other Danny and Gigi fans, and the same for Bet and Tina and Tess and Shane and Carmen and stuff like that. So you kind of think that everybody like thinks the same way, like they like the same couple. But when you're out in the world talking to people in bars or restaurants or something, it's a lot more common that they like that. One of the people at the table was telling me how much they hate Bet, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, Bet's my favorite character. So it's just, I find it so interesting. And that brings me into talking more about the ratings and the data as a whole. So basically, when the L word started, obviously, it did not have great promotion. The show was coming out on the 8th of August, and as anyone who has been on my channel for a while knows, that I announced with the L Word Online that we knew the show was coming back on the 8th of August because at the wrap party from filming, I had been told by multiple sources that it was. But Showtime held that information for 2 weeks. I posted it, the L Word Online posted it, and then the cast saw it and thought that Showtime had announced it, and then the cast started sharing our posts. So that was pretty funny. And, you know, there were some people who didn't believe it, of course, but in a couple of weeks, Showtime announced, yes, it's the 8th of August. So the 8th of August, and yet the first and real only teaser came out on June 1st, and the really first and only full-length trailer came out on the 30th of June. And aside from that and a peach photograph that really came out like a couple of weeks before the show started and was only used for a billboard in Times Square, there were also a few other billboards, but they were basically that poster with the heart. They were basically that. And there was like one with a lollipop, and there was like a few other versions of it that, you know, it just says the L word. It doesn't have the cast on it or anything like that. And those were the promotional posters. And they gave away a couple of those posters. They gave me that one, and then there was a couple of other like content creators that they gave them to, and then they did like a giveaway with the L Word Online, and that was pretty much it. That was it. Also, there were a number of things that they just didn't do that they're doing for other shows. And then seeing something like Dexter that's come straight after it and what they've done for that show, I mean, it's night and day. There's no comparison whatsoever, because they are doing everything, pulling out all the stops for Dexter. They were doing teasers and trailers like before the L Word even came out. And even when you look at their YouTube channel and stuff like that, like they do not promote the L Word basically at all. And even things like when the L Word would stream on a Thursday at midnight, they would not put the trailer up until after the show had even aired. And Dexter and other shows, like a lot of people would say, oh, it's because they waited for the live airing. But that's not true. With Dexter, it airs, they release it at midnight on a Saturday, and they put the trailer up then. And the reason that I got a ton of views just by putting the trailer up, and there was, I mean, literally some of those videos have like 100,000 views because so many people were watching the show on Hulu that didn't include the trailer, and then they were looking for the trailer, and because Showtime wasn't posting it, they were watching it on my channel. So getting into talking about that, now we're going to talk about some specific data and the live ratings. So we have my board again. So down this side, I have the live ratings. And over here, I've made some equations to try and work out the best sort of numbers for streaming based on my own numbers. And then I used numbers from other YouTubers, and I used Alex Shillington, Sapphic Underground, Evelyn Dar, and then I also had a look and just ran the numbers with them to compare it to some of the channels that post clips, and just, you know, plug the numbers into the equations I was using to make sure that it made sense that way too. And then also what I did was, because if you look at this, like these are the live rating numbers. So if we start out, you know, a premiere and a finale are always normally going to be higher rated episodes. And when something huge happens, like, I don't know, Danny and Gigi, the most popular couple on Generation Q, kiss and hook up, like it's going to be a big ratings one too. And the episode where Danny and Gigi kissed was by far like my most successful week because of everybody was so excited by that. So this is the premiere, and then the numbers are the episode numbers. So if you look, the trend goes pretty much down. The numbers get smaller. And as I said, you're always going to have a finale that is a little bit higher than the rest. But there is a reason for this trend. And what I did was I went into Google Analytics and then also into my own comment section. And on average, the first week through to the 5th week, I was receiving between comments on my YouTube videos, comments on my Instagram, direct messages on Instagram, direct messages on Twitter, I was receiving about 167 messages asking about how people were seeing the episode early and why were all the videos being posted before it had premiered, because people weren't aware that the episode was streaming early because, what did I say earlier? They didn't do any promotion for the show. And the reason people found out about the streaming, I'm really not being arrogant here, it's because Alex, Sapphic Underground, Evelyn, me, we all told people that it was. So as people found out that it was available, you see the live audience shrinking because they're realizing they can stream it early. And especially around here is when the show went to Mondays and it wasn't on Sundays anymore. So you're adding another day of difference between when it's released on streaming and when it's going on live. So another day that people can go in and stream it as opposed to seeing it on live, which is again going to shrink the numbers. So what I did to make sure that this was sound and logical is that then I went into my own numbers for the reviews, the prediction videos, the trailer and trailer breakdown. So, and then I'd also sometimes do like an extra video like about Bettina or about the poker thing or something. And I added everything up, and the pink numbers are everything added together. And then I went into all of those videos and checked how much of that audience is US based, because obviously only US people are going to watch it on Showtime. Yes, there are people like me who, I am in the UK, I'm using a VPN, which also, if you want a deal on a VPN, check in the description box. I have a affiliate link with ExpressVPN, and you can get 3 months free. So if you want a VPN to be able to watch Showtime and watch other shows, Hulu, everything like that, check in the description box. So there is a few, probably a couple of thousand viewers that I'm not counting, but that would have just got way too complicated. So I was averaging about 30% of my views from the US. Now, it's a pretty known fact that when you look at audiences compared to people that are searching things on YouTube for the show, that is known about 10% of the audience of a television show will go and seek something out on YouTube. I can't know exact numbers about every show and about the L Word, so I just took the average of 10%. So I'm probably really losing some people here, but so basically I took all my views, I took 30% of the views and threw away 70% of it because that was the rest of the world. And then I magnified it by 10% because I'm getting the only 10% of the audience that exists for the L Word on average. And so the purple numbers are what it came out to when I took the 30% and then times it by 10. So really the live audience, and then I added the live audience to the streaming audience. So the blue and green is the streaming audience. The purple is the live and streaming audience together. So this is my best estimate of what the real ratings for the show were. And you can see them here in the purple. So I'll put on the screen the real rating numbers for the streaming and the live audience combined. In my opinion, the best estimate I can do, because again, I do not have access to Showtime's data. So just to back up what I'm saying, now we're going to take a look at some stuff that is just like add-on little bits. Okay, so sharing my real screen, we're going to look at, so this is the Wayback Machine, which basically takes snapshots of URLs as they exist. So it's literally like going back in time to look at a website. So this is the Showtime Generation Q page 3 days after they published the official teaser for Generation Q in 2019, August 2019. So after 3 days, there were 373,000 views. Now, if you look at 3 days past when they published the season 2 teaser trailer, we're looking at double that, 660,000. So the amount of viewer growth in the time between the first season and the second season airing is wild. And there's, I mean, you can even look at like subscribers on the Generation Q Showtime channel. 55 is what it was at in June this year, and then they didn't even have, they have 4,000 in August 2019. And I also was looking at the interest over time of the words that were searched worldwide. Obviously, Generation Q didn't exist here. And then you see it picking up. I mean, this scale is measured 1 through 100, so 100 being the max. And we see it here beating the L Word and going up to 67, but this is obviously when the first season came out. This is them doing the trailer, and then this is December, January 2019 when season 1 aired. And then you just see over here, this little peak here is when the trailer came out for Generation Q season 2, June 2021. And then we see here is right around the premiere. Yeah, 1st through 7th. And then right around here that's the Danny and Gigi, when everything kicked off with them, they kissed and hooked up and everything like that. So, and then this is around the finale too. So when you look at my numbers on my board compared to the viewership of season 1, you're looking at about a doubling increase in viewers watching the episode with live viewing and with streaming, which whenever we're doing comparisons with whether it's across Google Analytics or whether it's across using the Wayback Machine, about double is what these are showing us too. I mean, like every platform that you look at, that's what the numbers show. So overall, I mean, these are my best estimates. I probably am overestimating the views or whatever you want to work out a little bit because, when I'm going into something, I obviously am a fan of the L Word. I want the show to succeed. And it's just everybody has bias. And I think that if you admit that bias and you've said you're trying to be as unbiased and ethical as possible with whatever you're trying to display and trying to explain that that's as fair as you can be. I think that there's some people that no matter what I say or do or what the show says or does, like they're going to basically hate on the show or say that they're going to take the live rating viewing to mean something that it doesn't anyway, because there's just some people who that's their bias, is they don't like the show. So do with this information what you will. As I have said countless times, I have spoken to Showtime about the ratings and they have told me they're very happy with the show, because you also have to take into context, like the L Word isn't a very expensive show for them to produce. And it also, they're paying like next to nothing in marketing because they don't really market the show. Like this is a niche show, and I even recognize that on my own channel, because the reason a lot of people don't talk about the L Word is because no matter what, on the very, very best day, those numbers are like the best you could be hoping for. And I mean, no matter if I made the best videos in the world and everyone who found my channel liked me, which is never going to be the case, I still would never be able to be like, some super huge big YouTuber, even if it was, like I said, all those things happened, because it's a niche show and there's limited viewers, and they know that about the show. They know that this show is 90% watched by women. They know the show is, a huge percentage are queer audiences, and there's only so many queer people. So I think that also goes into it too. Like they're not going to market this show like Dexter. And while personal preference comes into whether someone's going to watch a show, there's a lot of things working against the show. Like, for the most part, a lot of men won't watch the show because it's all women in the cast. So you got to take all these things into account. And at the end of the day, I will say it till I'm blue in the face that I just really wish that this show would come back for a 3rd season. And I will do everything in my tiny, tiny little power to make that the case. So I know this video was a bit off the wall, and I'm sure some people will absolutely hate it and say I'm wrong or whatever, but cool. That's fine. I enjoy talking about this stuff, and also, like I said, I'm lucky that I have access to this little bit of data, and most importantly, I have access to all of you who give me your thoughts and opinions and feelings, and without you, like, this channel would be nothing. So I love you guys. I love the show. I love doing this video, my channel, everything about it. You guys are awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just remember that without you all, this channel, this show, all of it would be meaningless. It is you guys and your viewership and your thoughts and feelings and comments and likes that make this all worthwhile. And it's the same for the show. I mean, without viewers, does it really mean anything? So thank you so much to anyone who's made it to the end of this video, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that left. So I hope that you enjoy the video, and I wanted to just quickly say happy birthday to Tammy, who is one of my most loyal subscribers. She helps me out a lot whenever I have crazy video ideas and I ask her if she thinks it's a good idea. So you can blame Tammy for this one. So I hope you have a great birthday, Tammy, and I hope that everybody is having a great holiday season, ramping up to hopefully having some few days off. And make sure you're following me on social media and subscribe so I can update you about season 3. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. You good, G? Wait till you see. Perfect. Right, G?